Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. There's a whole lot of talk out there. People telling you to wait for the right moment, wait for the right opportunity, wait for things to get better. Let me tell you this, it doesn't work like that. The right moment, the right time, that's on you. That's on you to create. You think things are just going to magically align for you? Nah. You've got to get up every single day and grind and look in the mirror and say, I've got to fix myself. You've got to take responsibility for your life, your choices, your actions, and stop looking at everything else and everybody else. You can blame your circumstances, your past, or the people who didn't believe in you. But it all comes down to you. Fix yourself. It doesn't matter where you come from or how many times you fall, you get up and you keep going. Life is hard, it'll knock you down, but it ain't about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up. You hear me? You want to talk about success? You want to achieve greatness? It's going to take work. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take you looking at yourself and saying, enough is enough. I'm done with the excuses. I'm done with the self-pity. I'm done with the blame game. You've got to put in the work every single day. And that means making changes even when it hurts, even when you don't feel like it. Because guess what? The world doesn't care about your feelings. The world doesn't care if you're tired. You think anyone's going to stop for you? You think anyone's going to give you a pass because you're struggling? No, the world keeps moving, and so should you. Fix yourself, because the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the way you see yourself. You got to stop holding on to what's comfortable, stop holding on to what's familiar, and start pushing yourself to do the things that scare you. Fear is a lie. Doubt is a lie. But you got to show up. You got to step out of that comfort zone. You have to want it bad enough to sacrifice everything that's been holding you back. You've got this. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you've been through. It's never too late. It's never too late to fix yourself. But you've got to want it. And not just talk about it, be about it. You want success, you want respect, then earn it. You want peace? Earn it. You want a better life? You got to create it. Fix yourself. You've got to stop looking around and start looking within. It's easy to blame the world for where you are, to point fingers at your circumstances, your upbringing, or the people who didn't believe in you. But that's not going to change a damn thing. Nobody's coming to fix you. No one's going to hand you success on a silver platter. You have to understand this. The only person who can change your life is you. You are the one who holds the keys to your own destiny. It's up to you to take control, to take full responsibility for where you are and where you're going. It starts with looking yourself in the mirror and being real with yourself. Not the version of yourself you want to be, but the real, raw version. The one who's made mistakes, who's failed, who's been hurt. You've got to own all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you keep making excuses, if you keep pointing fingers, you're never going to move forward. It's time to stop lying to yourself. You can't keep blaming the past, your family, your friends, your job, or even your bad luck. You are where you are because of the choices you've made. Period. Once you accept that responsibility, you can start taking control. You can start making choices that move you forward instead of keeping you stuck. You think success is going to fall into your lap? Think again. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears every single day. You don't get to show up when you feel like it. You don't get to take a day off because you're tired or discouraged. The world doesn't stop for your excuses, and neither should you. Every day you wake up, you have to grind. You've got to put in the work, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem at the time. You don't wait for things to get better. You make things better, one choice, one action at a time. And let me tell you this, fear will try to stop you. Doubt will try to creep in. You'll start thinking, I'm not good enough, or I don't have what it takes. Don't listen to that voice. That's not the real you talking. That's the fear trying to hold you back. Fear is the enemy of progress. And guess what? Doubt is just a lie you've been telling yourself for too long. When you start thinking about what you could lose, what might go wrong, you're letting that fear control you. You have to tell it to shut up. Push past that doubt. It doesn't matter how scared you are. You've got to show up anyway. You've got to keep going even when the path isn't clear, even when you're walking in the dark. The only way through it is to keep moving. Every step forward is a step toward growth, toward the person you want to become. No more waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is no magic moment where everything aligns, where the stars shine brighter and the clouds part. You have to create that moment. You have to make it happen. The world doesn't owe you anything. If you want something, you have to earn it. If you want success, you have to work for it. If you want peace, you have to cultivate it. If you want respect, you have to demand it not from others, but from yourself. It all starts with you. The power is in your hands. You may not control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can control how you grow from it. You can control whether you let it break you or make you stronger. But that's on you. If you want things to change, if you want to get out of the rut, if you want something different, you've got to fix yourself. You've got to take ownership of your life. Fix yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. You've got to stop waiting for someone else to fix your life because that person doesn't exist. It's not your boss, your partner, your parents, or even your friends who are going to get you out of the situation you're in. If you're waiting for a rescue mission, you're going to be waiting forever. The truth is, the power to change your life is right inside of you, but only if you decide to stop making excuses. Only if you decide that enough is enough. Stop telling yourself that things will get better someday. The reality is, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and magically be in a different situation. You've got to go out and make the change. You've got to fix yourself. It starts with the truth about who you are, where you're at, and what you've been doing to keep yourself stuck. The reason you're still in the same place, feeling like things aren't moving forward, is because you're too comfortable. You're too familiar with the pain, the disappointment, the frustration. You've grown used to it. But if you really want to change, if you really want something different for your life, you've got to get uncomfortable. You've got to make a conscious decision to stop accepting the things that don't serve you. That means letting go of the habits, the thoughts, and the people who keep pulling you down. That means standing up for yourself and saying, I'm not going to keep making excuses for why I'm stuck. You've got to get real with yourself. We're all guilty of putting things off, of thinking we can just fix it tomorrow, but guess what? Tomorrow never comes. You've got to look at yourself right now and ask, what am I going to do today to start making things better? You've got to stop being afraid of the work. The real work isn't the grind you see on social media, it's the work you put into yourself. The hard work of being honest with yourself, of acknowledging your weaknesses, and of making the daily decision to do something different. It's the little changes, the small decisions, the constant effort that builds up over time. It's those small wins that lead to big results. And don't get it twisted, this isn't going to be easy. Change never is. You're going to hit roadblocks, you're going to fall down, you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to feel like giving up at times. But let me tell you something, that's where growth happens. That's where character is built. It's easy to keep going when everything's smooth, but when things get tough, that's when you show what you're really made of. It's in the struggle, in the pain, in the moments when you want to quit that you discover your true strength. You don't find out how strong you are when you're comfortable. You find out how strong you are when you're on your knees, when life knocks you down, and you have to rise up again. So stop sitting around waiting for a sign or a miracle to come. The only sign you need is the one that says, it's time to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Time to stop blaming everyone else. Time to stop making excuses. You can't wait for everything to fall into place. You've got to make it fall into place. You've got to take control. And sometimes that means taking risks, making sacrifices, and doing things that scare you. It's not going to be handed to you. But when you fix yourself, when you take responsibility for your life and your choices, you start to see the power you truly have. You've got to do the work every single day. Because if you don't, you'll be stuck in the same place, blaming the world while the world just keeps moving on without you. You've got to make your move. You've got to fix yourself. You're the only one who can do it. You can't keep waiting for life to change on its own. Life doesn't care about your comfort, your struggles, or your excuses. It doesn't stop when you're tired, and it certainly doesn't slow down for you to catch up. So if you're waiting for someone else to come along and fix things for you, you're going to be waiting forever. You've got to fix yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. And if you think someone's going to swoop in and hand you the life you've been dreaming about, think again. It's time to face the truth. If you want things to change, you've got to change. That means looking in the mirror and telling yourself the hard truth. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending that you've got it all together when deep down you know you're struggling. Stop making excuses and pretending that everything's okay when you know it isn't. The moment you face that truth is the moment you take your power back. You can't keep pretending that things will improve if you don't take responsibility for your part in it. This isn't about anyone else, it's about you. You're the one who's in control of your future, not your boss, not your friends, not your family, it's you. So it's time to take that control. Look, life is going to hit you hard. It always does. You'll have setbacks. You'll fail. You'll fall. And that's okay. But don't you dare stay down. Every time you get knocked down, you've got to get back up. And no excuses, no looking around for someone to help you. You're the one who's got to pick yourself up. You've got to decide that you're not going to let the failure define you. You've got to rise above it. There is no room for self-pity. There is no room for regret. Yes, life will hurt you, but it's not about how hard you're hit, it's about how you respond. You've got to stop waiting for the perfect moment to act. The perfect moment doesn't exist. There's never going to be a time when everything lines up, when all your ducks are in a row, when everything is in your favor. That moment will never come. The time to act is now, right now. Whatever you've been putting off, whatever you've been waiting to do, it's time to do it. You've got to stop making excuses, stop telling yourself that you're not ready or that you don't have the resources or that you're not good enough. You are ready. You do have everything you need. You just have to stop overthinking it and start doing it. You want something different in your life? Then go after it. Don't wait for it to come to you. Go out and grab it. But let's be real, when you start making the change, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. You'll feel exhausted. You'll feel discouraged. You'll doubt yourself. But that's all part of the process. The struggle is where growth happens. The discomfort is where you start to build the strength, the discipline, the resilience that's going to take you to the next level. Don't shy away from it. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Because every time you push through a challenge, every time you overcome a setback, you are getting stronger. You are becoming the person you need to be to achieve your goals. You can't expect to live a successful, fulfilling life without putting in the work. You can't expect to be happy if you're not willing to make the sacrifices it takes to create that happiness. Nobody is going to hand it to you. And nobody is going to wait for you to be ready. The world keeps moving, and if you don't move with it, you'll be left behind. So it's time to stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop pretending you're okay with being stuck. It's time to fix yourself. It's time to take control of your life and start doing the work every day, every moment. Because if you don't, no one else will. The power to change your life is in your hands. So stop waiting and start acting. You've been waiting for things to change, right? Waiting for someone to come along and show you the way, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the perfect moment when everything will line up and you'll finally have what you've been hoping for. But let me tell you something, there is no perfect moment. There's no magical point where everything falls into place. If you're waiting for life to hand you something, you're going to be waiting a long time. You've got to go out and take it. You've got to make it happen for yourself. The power to change your life is in your hands. But first, you've got to stop making excuses and start doing the work. You've got to fix yourself. The first step in fixing yourself is realizing that you are the only one responsible for where you are in life. Yes, things happen that are out of your control. Yes, life throws curveballs that you didn't see coming. But the way you respond to those challenges is up to you. The way you allow them to shape your future is up to you. You can either let life defeat you, or you can decide that you are going to rise above. You've got to stop looking for someone to blame for your situation. Stop looking at your past and saying, if only I had this, or if only they had done that, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. What matters is what you do with what you've got right now. Stop being a victim. You are not a victim. You have power. You have the ability to change things, but it starts with you taking full responsibility for your life. You've got to own your choices, own your actions, and own your mistakes. When you take responsibility, you take back control. The second step in fixing yourself is being willing to put in the work. You can't expect to get to where you want to be without effort. No one who's achieved anything worthwhile got there by sitting around and waiting for it to happen. Success is earned. It takes long hours, dedication, and the ability to keep going even when things aren't going your way. If you really want to improve your life, you've got to make a commitment to work for it every single day. No days off, no excuses. You've got to show up for yourself even when it's hard, even when you feel like quitting. The work is where growth happens. The work is where you find out who you really are. When you push through the pain, the exhaustion, the frustration, that's when you discover your true strength. It's not easy, but it's worth it. The third step is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You can't grow if you stay in your comfort zone. You can't become the person you want to be if you keep doing what's easy, what feels safe. You've got to be willing to face the discomfort of growth. That means pushing yourself beyond what you think you're capable of, even when you're scared, even when you're uncertain. It's in the unknown that you find out what you're really made of. It's in the discomfort that you find strength, resilience, and determination. And it's through that discomfort that you will finally reach the place you've been working toward. The fourth step is facing your fears. Fear will always be there, trying to stop you from moving forward. It will try to tell you that you're not good enough, that you're going to fail, that you're wasting your time. But fear is a liar. Don't listen to it. Fear is just a sign that you're on the edge of something big, something life-changing. You can't let fear paralyze you. You have to use it as fuel. Every time you feel that fear creeping in, take a deep breath, push through it, and take the next step. The more you face fear, the weaker it becomes, and the stronger you become. None of this is easy. But you're not here to do easy. You're here to do hard. You're here to do what others won't do, to push when others quit, to rise when others fall. It's time to fix yourself, because the only person who's going to make your dreams a reality is you. You can sit around and wait for things to change, or you can take control of your life and make the changes yourself. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Fix yourself. The time is now. You've got to stop waiting for someone or something else to make things right in your life. There's no magic formula, no secret person who's going to come in and fix everything. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't owe you anything. You are not entitled to anything just because you've been struggling or working hard. If you want something different, if you want to change your circumstances, you've got to fix yourself. You've got to stop pointing fingers, stop blaming your environment, your upbringing, your bad luck, or anyone else for the way things are. The responsibility is yours, and that's where your power lies. When you accept that responsibility, that's when you can start to do something about it. It all starts with taking ownership. You've got to be honest with yourself. The excuses are just holding you back. Stop telling yourself that you'll start tomorrow, or that you'll change when you have more time, or when things settle down. The truth is, things will never settle down. Life doesn't stop. You have to make time. You have to decide right here, right now, that you're going to fix yourself. It's not about waiting for some external change. It's about changing how you approach everything. It's about changing your mindset. It's about taking control over what you can control and letting go of what you can't. If you're constantly blaming other people or situations, you're giving away your power. Stop doing that. Own your life, your choices, your mistakes, your successes. That's the first step. Then, once you own your situation, you've got to get serious about the work. Nothing happens without effort. You've got to stop wishing for things to change and start doing what it takes to make that change happen. Whether it's building better habits, improving your skills, or putting in the hours others won't, you have to be willing to put in the work. And it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. You've got to learn from your mistakes, adjust, and keep moving forward. The work you do today will pay off tomorrow, but only if you stay consistent. You've got to commit. Commit to making small daily improvements. Even when you feel like you're not making progress, trust that the work you're putting in is shaping your future. But here's the thing, it's not going to be easy. Change is never easy. You will face setbacks, you will face obstacles, and there will be days when you feel like quitting. But let me tell you something, you can't quit when it gets hard. That's when the real growth happens. When you keep pushing forward, even when you feel like you can't go any further, that's where your true potential lies. It's in the discomfort, the struggle, the times when you're ready to throw in the towel that you find out who you really are. You find out how strong you are. You find out what you're truly made of. So don't be afraid of the hard work. Don't be afraid of the struggle. Embrace it. Lean into it. The harder it gets, the closer you are to your breakthrough. And here's another thing, stop looking for validation from other people. It doesn't matter if others believe in you or not. It doesn't matter if they approve of your choices or not. What matters is that you believe in yourself. What matters is that you are doing what you know is right for you, even if it's hard, even if it's unpopular, even if no one else understands. The approval of others is nice, but it won't carry you through the tough times. It won't keep you going when the road gets rough. What will keep you going is your belief in yourself and your commitment to your own growth. When you stop seeking validation and start focusing on your own progress, that's when you'll see real change. Finally, you've got to believe that you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. You can't go around waiting for others to give you permission to succeed. You've got to give yourself that permission. You've got to have faith that, even when it's hard, you have the strength and the ability to overcome whatever challenges come your way. It's about having the courage to keep going, even when it feels like the world is telling you to stop. You've got to fix yourself not in a superficial way, but deep down in your heart, in your mindset. Fix yourself by making a commitment to do the work, to show up for yourself every single day, and to keep moving forward no matter what. Because if you don't do it, no one else will. And in the end, you are the one who has to live with the choices you make. So make the choice to fix yourself and to build the life you've always wanted. It starts with you.